Hey guys, how are you all doing? I wanted to make a video today and remind you of the importance of really living your life. I started this little project in my own life this last summer of just living my life. No matter whether it's challenging, whether it's, experiences, a generally crappy day, or if it's an amazing day, just focus on bringing more joy in and feeling and allowing myself to look for within me. So I just come into my breath, I come into my body, I breathe into my heart, and I ask myself, what do you want to do today? Or what do you want to do right now? And then I really feel, sometimes I might just, it's like just a picture is opening, or I can just, maybe feel like, oh, I just want to listen to this type of music, or, I want to do something, I want to and just let myself do that. It has allowed for a lot of limiting beliefs to become really apparent around, all the shoulds and woulds and coulds that I've in my life at least have been very used to doing all those things before I do something just for joy, or just focusing on living my life every day. What do I want to do? What do I want to feel? How do I want my life to be? Because from that place, we also start becoming aware of maybe habits, ways we're doing, ways we're thinking that are not really assisting us in enjoying our lives. And it's also really interesting if you look at the research that is done around spontaneous remissions, and seeing how much the biology can shift in a very short amount of time in the human body. And one of the things that is really apparent in a lot of those cases is that people have shifted the way they live their life completely, because they have started to really enjoy their lives and spending their time and their energy on something they really want to spend their time and energy on doing, something that feels good to them, something that they do enjoy. And that makes it so that we get more in our bodies, more creative, and we start creating. We are so programmed to be really serious about everything. You can be really serious about the shift in consciousness, and you can be really serious about your job, you can be really serious about parenting, you can be really serious about this practice you're doing, because we're so programmed to be in that mindset in order to get to what we want, instead of being in the present moment and creating what we want. And it is in the present moment the shift we are experiencing now is happening. So they start talking again while I'm on camera. Let me see. Yes, okay. So what they're saying, that there's, as many are feeling, there's a lot of energy right now, and in a way there's no news or nothing new about that, because we are experiencing that so often now. A lot of energy coming in, a lot of shifts in the physical body, a lot of things coming up, things changing, time being really weird, and there's the importance of coming back to the present moment. And the reason why it's also can be very helpful to focus more on really living your life is because it brings you back to the present moment. and it makes you really aware of whether you're just, you know, retelling the same story again and again and doing things the same way you always did them and creating the same thing over and over again, or whether you're actually present and starting doing something differently, which will create a different result and bring more joy, more room for magic, which I also mentioned in that last video in 2022, of creating more room for magic in our lives. That takes to really look for it and be present with it. And it's only in that present moment the experiences are happening. What I'm experiencing now, over these last couple of weeks, and especially these last days, is that everything is very easily accessible. In the sense that what I need to either move through is presented right in front of me, and if I resist it, it will come very, very apparent. The body will stop me very, like, immediately if I start moving out of alignment. And if I try to, you know, distract myself from something, it doesn't work anymore. And it's in that present moment where, for example, like ancestral healing is something I'm experiencing a lot of now, and it's just like, in my experience now, it's just like sitting down and sort of opening to what needs to unfold, and I can just really watch it. It's just like being shown. I see it while I'm present and I'm holding the space for it. It's just happening, but it takes that I'm present. And it's what they're explaining now as I'm talking, which is why I might be not so fluent in the formulation at the moment, because I'm trying to pay attention. That the shift is happening now. It's in the present moment, because in the present moment there is no future and there is no past. It isn't only focusing on what you're going to do next or what to do now in order to create whatever you want for the next day or the next week or the next year, or trying to predict what is coming because you're in fear and you're afraid of what's coming and you want to prepare yourself for something, or just sitting waiting because something will change, so I'll just sit here and I'll just wait, you know, till whatever happens. It doesn't work that way. We have to be present. We have to create from the present moment. And what we need to release is also presented in the present moment. We don't need to go look for things. It will become apparent if you're present. And one of the really like mind-boggling experiences I've had on and off for the last couple of weeks is be consciously awake and aware of being in 4 different places at the same time. And I don't have the full understanding of this, you know, in my mind. I'm just experiencing it. What I'm being explained is that everything is always happening in the present moment. So whether it's, you know, I've had a lot of sudden visions and remembrances coming from Atlantis. And what they're saying is that the more present you are and the more expanded the awareness becomes, the more information it contains. And so it's the same way the memory will start functioning. Many are experiencing that we don't remember so much. We don't have the same memory as we once used to have. And what they're saying is that it's because we don't need it. Because we will be able to tap into what we need at a certain point. That's also the same happening with telepathy. More people experiencing that, because it's almost like these node points and the information going through. So it's sort of like activating a memory when we need it. We don't have to go around and try to remember everything all the time. It's the same way they're experiencing the really weird experiences with time now. I had, only yesterday, I was watching my phone, and it said it was 13:15 because we have a 24-hour clock here. And I went to the kitchen and I was cleaning up something. I came back, I saw what time it was, and it said it was 13:03, which makes no sense, obviously. And these experiences are happening sometimes several times a day. And it's just, for me now, it's just like, okay, I'm just experiencing, I'm just observing it, and I'm just giggling about it, and I go about my day. The really mind-boggling thing is, when I had these experiences of being in 4 different places at the same time, my mind can't grasp it, obviously, but it's the same thing with the present moment, because I say that you will experience to become more aware of what you are doing and where you are, and be experiencing that you're able to be in different places at the same time on a very physical level, which is, they say there are different aspects to it. They haven't explained me more than that yet. They say that it's sort of like the beginning of teleportation, but there are also a lot of people that are working energetically on different geographical places on the earth now, and there's a wider experience or awareness of what is actually happening in the present moment when you get present. So it's more like just being present, and it will unfold. It will be just these moments that we will see or experience these things, and then things will be just normal. There's a lot of weird things happening in that sense, at the same time as it feels as the most natural and normal thing when it happens. I obviously cannot explain all of it, but what I keep saying is that the present moment is the key. That's where these experiences come from. That's where we get presented with what we need to release, the attachments we need to let go of, and that's where we find the creation and the joy and the magic. And as I mentioned in that last video in 2022 about creating more magic and more space for magic in our lives, I had this experience today. For example, it was sunny, it was beautiful, and I went up to the forest because I really love being in nature. And I went for this walk. I sat down by the water, sitting in the sun. I closed my eyes and I was doing some breath work. And when I opened my eyes, I had this beautiful little dragonfly sitting right beside me on the rock I was sitting on. And that little moment, because I was fully present, and I could see it when I opened my eyes, and I just, started communicating with it, and, we were just like looking at each other. That moment is a moment that has just sort of come to my awareness several times throughout the day, and just makes my heart just open fully and gives me a smile on my face. And that's why, like, living life doesn't need to be these huge things. It can be that too. But when we become aware of, and we really enjoy, and we let ourselves really feel into what we want to do and what we want to experience, and let ourselves have it now, instead of being in the waiting for something, trying to predict something, or trying to control something, we allow for more magic, and we allow for seeing and actually experiencing, being aware of the magic that is presenting in our present moments. And from that, we will only experience more of it, because it's the frequency. And when we start allowing ourselves to feel it and to really live our joy the most, as much as we can, and really enjoy, if you're with someone, to really be present with that person, really be present with the conversation. And if there's something you really don't want to do, or something you don't want to engage in, to honor yourself on that, and starting to be really aware of, how can I increase the quality of my life? What do I want to do? Sometimes I ask myself, if I knew that this was the last day of my life, what would I want to spend this day doing? How do I want to feel? Not in the sense of coming into a fear state and desperation and that sort of frequency, but just to be really aware that I have this life now, and there's a lot unfolding in every present moment that I would miss out on if I wasn't present. And allowing that, and just focus on bringing in some joy, doing something you want to do every day, and allow yourself to do it, and just being present, because it's in that state all of these other things are happening. And they just keep saying, as I'm talking now, the shift is happening now, the shift is happening now. It's in the present moment. Don't wait for it. Be it, create it, enjoy it. And I'm very, very aware that many people are experiencing big challenges now. There are many places in the world where things are really, really difficult and challenging. So I'm not at all dismissing that. But focusing on what is present, what can you do to have some more joy, what do you want to do. Ask yourself, what do I want to do right now? How can I feel some joy right now? Not from escaping or avoiding or suppressing something that you're experiencing, but in order to bring that in as well, because that's the shift. The shift is in the present. The shift is when we are not in the program. It's when we are present, and it's shifting really quickly. I hope this can inspire you and give you some ideas and inspiration to find some joy every single day. It's a practice I have that I'm really enjoying. Even on my most challenging days, I find some joy and gratitude, and it really shifts a lot. I can say that from experience. I hope you are doing well. Take well care of yourself, nurture yourself, have a lot of compassion for those around you. I love hearing in the comments always what you're experiencing, how you are, and I'm very grateful for everyone sharing videos if it resonates, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.